You are Bizerain's cat's paw, then? I knew he had let a mortal into the house's ranks. But this is who he sends to do his dirty work. Fie on him! You may return me to the cycle, but if you ever see your master, tell him this. He will never get his hands...
Oh. You have finally returned. Much has happened since you were away. The house has been sundered. Not by Tuatha, but by ourselves. The house has rebelled. The other members of the house have marched against the Tuatha. I'm afraid they may have attacked. I do not think he is dead, but we must see to him. Saturnin is watching us. I can sense it. If Bizerain is left undefended, it will be difficult for you to understand, but many did not consider Bizerain the true king of our house. While many wanted to war with the Tuatha, Bizerain stayed our hands. And while our house collapsed around us, Bizerain did nothing. I will not lie. Though I see the value of your presence, many felt that bringing a mortal into our ranks crossed the line. With you, Bizerain made his final error. Yes, unfortunately the doors to the house are barred. I am capable of shadow stepping through, but I'm afraid that you, as a mortal, must take a longer route. Go through the proving halls, but be warned, Bolgan roam those corridors now. Saturnines already started moving to crush us. Farewell. You've returned.
Hello again.
Greetings of the gods be with you once again. I still have need of your... Go with the gods.
New day. It is the hero of Melson Shear. Care to take a look? Another time then.
It mortal at last. Speak. You have arrived as Tybri said you would. It is good that you were able to get through the proving halls unscathed. But there are greater events at work here. The house may have breathed its last. The rebels have begun a march of folly to make war on the Tuatha. As they said, they are rallying at a fortress called the Fallen Hall. I sought to stay them. They ignored me. I sought to warn them. They paid no heed. For them, the war started when I became the King of Sorrows. And now, my reign. Saturnin wants this, mortal. Without leadership, the rebels will be easily picked off. And so it falls to you and Tybri to save them. Years ago, the House of Sorrows and the Tuatha made a pact of necessity. The house would remain free of the Tuatha. In addition, the Tuatha demanded we appoint a more amiable king. One who would uphold the pact. And so I was named. I became the face of our submission. And when Saturnin led the Tuatha to fight us, the house had no reason left to heed me. Saturnin has made a miscalculation in moving to kill these rebels. Namely, he did not foresee you. We must exploit this fact. Saturnin will have to reveal himself in some form. Go south and learn all you can from him. Kill him if possible. I have instructed Tybri to assist you as best she can, but she is not as suited to this work as you, mortal. Look after her. They are in the Fallen Hall. Save who you can, but more importantly, we must learn what we can of Saturnin.
Yes? That must be the leader, Saturnin. That was the leader. It must have been Saturnin. And if he's heading in there, that must be where the rest of the House of Sorrows are. We have to get past this door. We need to stop him before the rebels are all killed. The Fallen Hall is a fortress in the Phalanx. To get to its heart, we will need to open 3 great doors. There should be 2 other sigil stones that we can use in addition to the one before us. They will grant us passage. Farewell. Saturnin has sealed himself in the hall's farewell. The path is cleared. And now, farewell.
Oh, this is splendid. I was worried I would have nothing left to see to after I slaughtered these wretches. Saturnin, you use that name so freely, but your little guess is wrong. I am not I am but a blade that Saturnin has employed in his war. And now, that blade turns on you. You are more amusing than I originally believed. But my master is Saturn and has a message for you to deliver to your master. This war is over. Soon the sorrows will belong to the two.
I can scarcely believe it. All this death, all this destruction, and we have nothing to show for it. No Saturn. The Weeping King left the world with good cause. For all that is left of the House of Sorrows is ruin. We must return to Bizrain with this news. He will want to know what has happened here. Farewell.
Speak, Saturnin. This latest wound he has dealt may be fatal. He need only for us to succumb, and then he can find these sorrows. So that is what we will deny him. Let our losses harden our resolve. Where once we sought victory, we shall now seek attrition. Fae are the embodiment of magic. When a Delver takes the burden of winter from a Fae, those burdens are in the form of magic. Over centuries, these magics have been collected, contained in a secret location. The sorrows that Saturnin seeks. It is a difficult magic for a mortal mind to grasp, but the accumulation of centuries of sorrows is a fearsome weapon indeed. The burden of a single lifetime of sorrows can be debilitating. Their impact can instill madness or drive a life to end itself. Saturnin would hold a millennium of sorrows. With them, he could obliterate an army's morale and send them from victory to bedlam. Their location is an ancient secret. Only two Fae, the eldest, know. They left the house centuries ago to reside in Amalur. The way to them is blocked by the Great Scale, a mighty spell which you must bypass. That alone will open your... You must kill beasts on the pans of the scale. Death is the only weight it will bear.
Yes?
My friends used me for their own gain, and why not? I was, after all, a powerful sorceress who commanded the elements and conjured fear in the heart of any who would oppose her. Oliskar, my apprentice, the entire time was inciting the rabble against me, the witch. You should have known better than to trust him. And Atham, of course, right there, stealing from my library and purse. How could you be such a fool? Atham was someone I thought I could trust.
How curious. You are mortal, but your steps resound with a burden greater than any one mortal might ever hope to bear. More curious still is your presence here. The great scale is not idly moved, nor is my reverie broken without cause. What is your purpose? And so I am finally exhumed, but Bizarane is not the King of Sorrows from whom I hoped to draw summons. Indeed, I know the location of the Sorrows. They were never meant to be retrieved, but neither were they meant to be exploited. Before I go, I must request that you rouse my counterpart, Caelrod. The ages have sent our paths together. I will not break it now. A penance of sorts. Long ago, Caelrod and I served the Weeping King. Of tenders and delvers, we were the first. But the Weeping King soon left this world for Ashara. And when he did, the house stopped serving death and began serving the court of winter. That was not what we followed the Weeping King for. So we came here to contemplate death. It is what the Weeping King would have intended. When we first came to this place, we vowed we would not see each other until our contemplations were complete. I thought that as I was on one side of the scale, you will find him on the other. I will leave this cell and wait for you to find him. He is on the other side of the great scale. You will need goodbye. You have come.
Sorrow precedes you, mortal. It is almost enough to shift the great scale on its own. It has been centuries since my reverie was last disturbed. For what cause are you here? What could a mortal possibly want with me? I have heard of your work in reaching Alarain. If she wishes to aid this King of Sorrows, then I will echo her approval. But learning the location of the Sorrows is not merely answering a question asked. More than knowledge will be needed to reach the Sorrows. We will meet her in time. You must be patient, mortal. Very well. And so the eldest look upon each other once more. It has been some time since I have seen Alarain, mortal. For that I am thankful. But Bizarrain will need more than knowledge to reach Sorrows. He will need a key which lies in Sincere, the hollow of the Weeping King. That is correct. It is a difficult thing to ask of a mortal. A Fae would be better suited to navigate the hollow. But time is fleet. But you will not perform this task alone. One of us will aid in recovering the key from Sincere, and the other will instruct Bizarrain. It falls to you to choose. Not for your end goal. Both of us are familiar with the Weeping King's Hollow. But I wield magic, and Alarain her Fey Blades. It will be a hard road, mortal. We can complement your skills, or bolster them. Let it be so. She will accompany you to Sincere, and I will return to the House of Sorrows to instruct Bizarrain. I wish you luck in your task, mortal. Keep well after Alarain. Very well.
Then we leave Caelrod to the instruction of this King of Sorrows. It is perhaps the best choice. It is suited to him after all. I will shadow step to Sincere and wait for you there. We must move quickly. Goodbye.
Interested in a trinket or... or a gem. Realty's Ma has another time.
At last, you come, and we can recover the key. I knew the Tuatha had taken hold of Cluricon, but I never thought it would be like this. When I last walked here, it was a solemn place, but beautiful. Kind fae tended to the corners and halls. Now it lies silent, corrupted, and sullied. But we cannot dwell on what has transpired. To reach the key to the sorrows, we must first seek 3 votives in addition to this one. They will grant us passage. We must go deeper still into Sincere. The way is not open, however, to one that does not bear. The votives were originally borne by fae that tended this hollow, but I think they are held by something more sinister now. Goodbye. So you have gathered all the votives. Then we may continue onward to the next trial we must face, the Crying Eyes. When we reach them, then I will tell you they are deeper in the dungeon. Press forward and we shall reach them. Goodbye. The way is clear. Come, let us press onward. There is still another challenge to overcome. Before we can reach the key, we must bypass the Crying Eyes. Then the key to the sorrows will be ours again. Goodbye.